Hello everyone, my name is Walter, and we're back to cover some stories of people's proudest moments once again. I'm sure I called it something softer in the video title, but we don't censor here, so what we're covering is Reddit Today I Fucked Up, the best place to tell everyone your embarrassing stories about failing at things. Okay, rules here include no obscene sexual situations, though they allow most sexual things, no deaths, and nothing intentionally illegal. Well, I don't like long intros, so let's get to the stories, with stories from Reddit Today I Fucked Up. Today I fucked up by sending a picture of my meat mountain to a girl I met on Tinder. I met this girl on Tinder a few weeks ago. We immediately hit it off and were vibing really well with each other. After a few days, we exchanged phone numbers and started texting and Snapchatting pretty frequently. Things were going well for a few weeks, and we both decided that we wanted to meet up in person and see if the connection was as good as it was through social media. The plan was to meet at a local restaurant on Sunday afternoon. That Sunday morning, we were snapping like we always do, and during that time, I went to Wegmans to get some food for breakfast. I eat like a garbage person and shovel meat into my mouth like nobody's business. I purchased a pound of bacon, a pack of sausage patties, and a pack of sausage links. I began cooking them on my stove and thought the scenario was a snap-worthy moment. I took a video of all 3 pans filled with meat and then the final product of all the meat stacked up on a plate before I consumed it. I sent it to my friends on Snapchat and the girl I was talking to. Within seconds, she replied. She tore me a new asshole and blocked me immediately, and I never heard from her again. Apparently, she is a hardcore vegan, and I had no idea. Ruined weeks of very real connection with this girl with one snap of the meat mountain, which was my breakfast. People mention this in the comments, but if you're into eating mountains of meat, you might not be compatible with someone who's a hardcore vegan either way. Now, you know what's weird? People always say that if someone's a vegan, they'll tell you about it every few seconds. I guess that wasn't the case in this story. I like the stories where the title's misleading. Let's continue. Today I fucked up by sticking my whole foot in my mouth at a funeral. This happened a few years ago. I had a buddy from high school that had some pretty severe mental illness and ended up putting a gun into his mouth. At the funeral, there came the open mic section. Nobody was moving and it got kind of awkward. So I put on my big girl panties and marched up to the front of the room, in front of about 200 people. I told them the funniest story I had about Buddy. The last time he got expelled from school, like I said, Buddy had issues. Him and I were walking to his locker to grab his shit. While we were walking, he got this funny look on his face and I realized he was looking at the fire extinguisher. Before I could get out the words, "Buddy, don't," he had already grabbed this stupid thing. He began to discharge it in the hallway. Our school halls were in a circular shape and he began to run. He did 2 full laps around the school before it quit. We had to evacuate the school and we all went home early. Here's where I F up. I finish my story and I end it with, I guess Buddy just wanted to go out with a bang. I realize what I've said and all of the color drains out of my face. Everyone was nice enough to pretend not to notice and his sister gives me a hug. I sat back down and did my best to sink into the floor. It's been like 5 years and it's still my cringiest moment of all time. Yeah, I'm sure this could have been any of us. Probably takes a lot of courage to get up there first as a friend. Today I fucked up by passing out in the bathroom. Obligatory this didn't happen today, just feeling the effects more so today. On Thursday evening, me and a few friends went to watch a friend of a friend take part in a snooker tournament. Great evening, had a few drinks. Not too many, mind, I had work the next day. Either way I get home and get into bed, no problem. The following morning about 5 a.m., I'm awoken by the overwhelming urge to pee, like stuck in a car with no rest stop for 5 hours kind of pee. So I get up, rush from my room to the bathroom, and relieve myself, and this is where it gets hazy. I must have finished peeing as I had my shorts pulled up, but the next thing I remember is my mom and dad shaking me, shouting at me to get up. My mom in tears, as she later told me she thought I was dead. Either way, I had passed out/fainted and ended up crashing into the bath and hitting my face on the sink. There was no warning, and the only way I can describe it is it was like I closed my eyes and fell asleep, waking up on the floor. I spent all of Friday in my local hospital. I cannot thank the UK NHS enough for the help they gave me. I have bruising all down my left side, with a bruise on my waist so purple it looks like you could drink wine from it. I've also got a swollen lip and a big gash out of the area under my nose. All tests and scans show I haven't done any lasting damage, but now I have to be referred to a specialist to see why I passed out. Either way, I'm sat here on the Saturday, which also happens to be my birthday, looking like I just survived a scrap with half a dozen people. I haven't woken up in a bathroom in a while now, I swear, but I did pass out on my desk on the bridge of my nose, and I guess that causes you to wake up with 2 black eyes. That was not responsible drinking though. Just wait till this Four Loko seltzer drink comes out. Also, feel free to sponsor me, Four Loko. Speaking of booze, it's in the next story too. Today I fucked up by getting drunk on the plane. So this didn't happen today, but it happened last night. Also on mobile, sorry for any errors. TLDR at bottom. So to start off, I'd like to say that I'm a big drinker. I wouldn't go as far as to say that I'm an alcoholic, but I do love my alcohol. So pretty much I can handle my alcohol when I'm super drunk. Anyways, my work sends me out to different manufacturers for training on the products that I sell. I do not travel at all, and this is only the third time I have ever been on a plane, so I am not that experienced with flying and the rules. But this fuck up is beyond just knowing the rules. It's about being pure disrespectful and an asshole that nobody likes. So on with the fuck up. I take Chantix to quit smoking. I have used it in the past with success, but I didn't stick with it, so I started smoking again. Well, I decided to get back on Chantix with the recommendation of my doctor. I have never had any side effects from it, just vivid dreams. Well, this time around I have been experiencing more side effects like nightmares, depressive behavior, aggression, and so on. Well, one would think to not drink while you're taking this while experiencing those side effects, but my dumbass said, fuck it, I can drink and handle my shit. Well, was I ever so wrong. I started drinking at the airport when me and my 2 coworkers got there. Our flight was delayed by a couple hours, so I thought it would be great to have some drinks to pass the time. I sit at the bar and decided to have a couple drinks. After a few, I head outside the airport to go smoke, and there's this cool old lady there smoking. We hit it off and are bullshitting with each other. She eventually says she has some Fireball shots, and I'm shocked that she would transfer alcohol on a plane. But she stated that she drinks it in between layovers. Makes sense. Saves some money. Anyways, she offers me one and I gladly accept it. We eventually go our own way. I end up heading back to the bar and get another drink before the plane departs. By this time, I'm super drunk for how little alcohol I had. I don't think much of it because, hey, I'm drunk. Well, while I was drunk, I decided to be an extremely rude drunk person. When I am drunk, I am always a down-to-earth guy, but sometimes I can get testy with people, but I always know when to back off. Unfortunately, I did not know when to back off. I ended up calling my girlfriend on the phone while on the plane and taking off, as I thought that would be fun. Well, as you can imagine, I got in trouble. You would think at this point I would have learned. Welp, I didn't. I ended up putting in my headphones and jammed out to some tunes. Let's just say I love to sing when I am drunk, and let me tell you, I sang on the plane. After the stewardess told me to stop, I did, and I behaved for the rest of the flight for the most part. Now on to the biggest fuck up of them all, and let me tell you all something. Don't drink with medications that can interact with each other. It's a big no-no. It's on the label for a reason. Well, I decided to call my girlfriend as we were landing and on the runway as she was picking me up from the airport. Well, while on the phone with her, I decided it would be funny to say sexual comments really loud to her so everyone can hear me. And continued to do this and also say some really rude stuff about some people on the plane, also extremely loud. Remember, my coworkers are on the same plane. I ended up switching seats with the person next to me so I can get off the plane faster. And the stewardess was not happy. I was on the phone with my girlfriend still when this all went down, and me and the stewardess got into a little spat about it to the point where another one had to intervene. It was that bad. Luckily, they were a lot cooler than me, and I didn't get arrested as they were threatening to do. I am probably flagged now for flying, so if you were the stewardess on the flight, I am extremely sorry. Now I have to face my coworkers and apologize and tell my boss what happened, hoping I don't get fired. Well, yeah, sounds pretty hard to live that one down. Probably a little worse than getting too drunk at a party. But hey, at least you didn't yell the N-word and slap a baby, netting yourself 8 months in jail like Joe Hundley. Anyone remember that story? That's a definite today I fucked up. You know, if it didn't make national news in the first place. Okay, one more story. Today I fucked up by accidentally revealing to my whole family that I masturbate every morning. This happened a couple hours ago and they're still laughing. I was visiting my parents' house for dinner with my family, and almost everyone in my family of 7 got Apple Watches recently and was talking about fitness tracking and heart rate monitoring. They're all health nuts, and we got to the topic of resting heart rates and sleeping patterns, and I was looking at my sleep monitoring and realized that my heart rate aggressively spikes every morning when I wake up. So I brought it up with them, and everyone was trying to think of what I could possibly be doing in the morning that causes my heart rate to spike to an active heart rate so quickly. My sister and mom realized at the same time and started dying laughing until I realized what the first thing I do in the morning. TLDR family looked at my heart rate patterns and figured out I masturbate every morning. Edit to the 300 plus comments that told me to say I do morning workout routines. Where were you at dinner, because I could have used you? Oh yeah, I assure you family, that's just my sleep paralysis. I never mention it, but it definitely happens every morning. Of course, if it's me, I actually have horrible sleep apnea and refuse to get it looked at, so your mileage may vary. Well, that is about all the time I have for you today. Thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks to my subscribers. If you're new and like the content, consider subscribing. Everyone else, like, dislike, comment, all that shit. Let me know how you fucked up today, if you did. I mentioned it last video, but not everyone watches those. I got this channel monetized, and I think things are looking alright so far, as long as I don't talk about whatever got my last channel shut down. On a related note, big thanks to my generous patrons who helped me survive this whole time. I'll try to do more with Patreon in the near future. Expect a Nice Guy Stories video, next probably. We'll see if I can do that by tomorrow, but anyway, have a great night, and make sure to eat a mountain of meat for breakfast tomorrow.